Okay. So in translation, I don't know, like because as I'm telling you that we should teach beyond the text, so I would not be just adhering to translation method. Side by side, I would be telling you other things as well. Because when I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you. I'm not teaching you. I'm discussing it with you. Okay. Now at this level, we don't teach. We talk. So I'm talking to you. So, I'm giving you my experiences so that you can also be benefited the way I was benefited with the experiences of my teacher. When I teach something, suppose, the teacher who taught me, say, sailing to Byzantium, or say, ancient mariner, then, I would visualize the teacher. I would imagine the teacher, the way he taught that. And you can add your own experiences, your own knowledge, since you have a wide knowledge available there with you on the internet. So in translation method, the teacher translates, again, I'll just come back to the same thing because, in translation method, the teacher translates every word, every phrase, and every sentence that he comes across in the book. This is what he does. That's why, it becomes a very dull thing. If you're translating every word, every phrase, every sentence, it becomes dull. But this is how translation method is. So in translation method, what does the teacher do? He translates every word, phrase, and sentence that he comes across while teaching a text, a poem, a play, or say fiction. He also compares the structures of the foreign language with those of the mother tongue, the way we did. We talked about some idioms, we talked about some phrases, proverbs, and all. So what were we doing? We were having discussing the mother tongue equivalent of the English proverbs, English idioms. The method is therefore, since you're translating the structure, the syntax, the method is also known as grammar translation method. Okay, you can have grammar also before this, grammar translation method. What is it called? Grammar translation method. Because the grammar of new language is taught with the help of the grammar of the mother tongue. Means you learn the grammar of the English language, the target language, the second language, with the help of the grammar of the mother tongue, with the help of the grammar of Hindi. So Hindi is assisting you, helping you in learning the grammar of the target language. That is why it is called as grammar translation method. Okay? Yeah. Now, when I'm talking about translation method, that this is the oldest, this is the classical, and this was followed, say, around a century ago, that doesn't mean that it doesn't have advantages. It does have advantages. Now, I was talking about advantages also. I would like to discuss them that way. Suppose you get a question on discuss translation method of English language teaching. Suppose you get this question, discuss translation method of English language teaching. Then you're supposed to write the principles of translation method, the advantages of translation method, and even disadvantages of translation method. Like merits you will discuss first, and then you will discuss demerits also. Okay, these are the three things that we look for in your answer sheets. Okay, so here I can discuss a bit so that you can understand what is it, what are the advantages, what are the merits, and what are the demerits. And you can even further elaborate this answer, because it's not possible that I'm telling you each and every thing, or say discussing in a very elaborate way. Although I always discuss my topics in a very elaborate way, so that you don't need to say read other books, or say hunt for books or material there in your library or internet or on the internet. So listen to me. If you're listening to me, if you're taking them down, or you can watch the video over and over again. If you don't understand something, I think that you will get sufficient material here in the video, and you don't need to further look for any material on it. So we are talking about advantages. What advantage do you think is the the biggest advantage that you have in teaching through translation method, well, I would say that it is an easy method. What is it? It's an easy method. It's very convenient. In this method, the child proceeds from known to unknown. Known to unknown because you know your mother tongue. So with the help of your mother tongue, you are learning the second language. So how are you moving? You're moving from the known to the unknown. He already knows his mother tongue. The child knows the mother tongue already. You know, like I am giving you examples because when I am discussing translation method, obviously, you know, translation method is followed at the earlier stages. So that's why I would say child. And if you happen to teach in some primary, at the primary level, say level 1, level 2, level 3, this is how you have. So I'm talking about the elementary level. If you're teaching at the elementary level, then you would teach a child through the translation method. Why? Because this is an easy method, this is convenient, and students easily understand. Why? Because they move from known to unknown. They already know their mother tongue, they already know L1, and they learn the L2 through L1. A child learns the English language through or with the help of L1. Okay. Yes, and words and phrases of the target language are quickly explained. You know, I was giving you examples also. It is very convenient, very easy for a teacher to explain words and images of the target language in Hindi. You can quickly do it. And because I was trying to give a definition of this, that was very difficult. I said kalam and they would understand. I said rumal and they would understand. I don't need to say that it's a square piece of cloth and used for wiping mouth or wiping face, right? Or say cleaning or wiping your hands and all. No, you don't need to. So words and phrases of target language are quickly explained. Translation, you must say, is the easiest way of explaining the words and phrases of the foreign languages. Foreign languages, any language, can be easily learned, or words can easily be learned. I know so many words of Arabic, I know so many words of Persian. How do I know? I just know the words, okay? I know about the languages, but I cannot speak them, okay? But I know the words. I know many words in Sanskrit, yet I cannot speak. Yes, I can make out somebody is speaking. So you can learn the words and images of the foreign languages through with the help of translation method, I must say. Any other method of explaining vocabulary is time consuming. Okay, very time consuming. Translation saves a good deal of time. If you're translating words into your mother tongue, I mean the foreign words, the words from the target language into Hindi, your mother tongue, it is easier, it is convenient, it saves your time. Otherwise, like the time would be wasted if meanings are explained by giving definitions and explanations in the foreign language itself. Isn't it? So you don't need to give the explanation. You don't need to define the objects. You can just directly give them the Hindi equivalent, the mother tongue equivalent, and they would retain it. They would understand it. And so it's very easy. This method is very easy. Why? Because words and phrases can be easily explained to them in the mother tongue. And one thing more, I have noted down that there can be a rapid expansion in the vocabulary of the students also. Like, while I teach my first year students, compulsory English students, since they are not good at English, they come from Hindi medium schools, they come from rural background, what do I say? Okay, tomorrow you come, you will tell me 50 words, okay? You will tell me the meaning of 50 words in the mother tongue. So when they come, they won't tell me 50 words, at least they would be able to tell me 25 words. So vocabulary and grammar, are of primary importance in the translation method. Vocabulary and grammar, they are the primary, they are the primary things, okay? They are of primary importance. Vocabulary is often taught through list of words. A teacher can give a list of words. Like you can have a list of words: mat, cat, dog, apple, mango, hair, elephant. You can write the words and you can ask your students, okay, to give you the Hindi equivalent. And next day when you come, okay, these are the 50 words. Next tomorrow when you come after first write the meaning there in the mother tongue and tell the meanings in Hindi. Your vocabulary would be tested. And how does a teacher test his vocabulary? He asks, he speaks the word in English. He says elephant, and then the students would tell the Hindi equivalent, the mother tongue equivalent. Like if he happens to give a description and define it, well, it's a very huge animal. It has got a very big trunk. It has got very big teeth. This is going to be very time consuming. You can understand, isn't that? So this is a good advantage. It's a very big merit, in fact. Like your vocabulary, they can be a rapid increase in your vocabulary. The translation thus helps in the rapid expansion of vocabulary of the students, as it avoids difficult definitions or lengthy explanations. Students get the exact meaning of words. I would say that it is the easiest case, the way of expanding vocabulary. And not only your students' time is saved, even teachers' labor is also saved. Teachers' labor is saved. This method is very easy for the teachers. This method is very easy for the teachers to follow there in the classroom. He doesn't need to put in much labor. He does not have to think of the ways and means to explain the words. If you're teaching through direct method, then because you cannot explain things in Hindi, then you will have to adhere to English. You have to adhere to English words, English synonyms and all. And it's not that easy, for every teacher to give English synonyms. Synonyms in the same language, synonyms in the foreign language, or give antonyms in the foreign language. But if you're teaching through mother tongue, then you can give, or you can give the Hindi equivalent very easily. Teacher does not need to think of the ways and means to explain the words. It does not require the teacher to make use of audiovisual aids. When you're teaching through direct method, then you make use of audiovisual aids. But if you're teaching through the translation method, you don't need the audiovisual aids. You don't need the projector, the PPTs and all. No, you don't need. You can do without them. This is one factor which explains the popularity of this method. This method is very popular. Why? Because we do not have these gadgets available there in our colleges, in our schools and all. Since we do not have these gadgets available, we have to teach without them. And which method is the easiest then? The translation method is the easiest. So it saves teachers time. The method suits even average and below average teachers. Because you must have seen, even our teachers, I mean teachers who learn English, who learn the foreign language through Hindi medium. If the medium section was Hindi, then they are not good at communicative skill. They are not good at spoken English. So they find the translation method easier.